On behalf of the EFDD Group, Deputy Paul Nuttall, 3 minutes, please.
Mr. President, Commissioner, a fortnight ago in the European Parliament, I warned that the next terrorist attack was a case of not if, but when and where. And we had the answer 48 hours later. We had a beheading in the French town of Grenoble, a massacre of 38 innocents in the Tunisian resort of Port El Kantoui, and a bombing of a mosque in Kuwait. And what did all of these attacks have in common? Now, some may find what I'm about to say to be unpalatable. Some may find it politically incorrect. But the simple fact is, the one thing they all had in common was they were done in the name of Islam. Now, I hear people in my own country claim the opposite and say that these outrages have nothing to do with Islam. But this is not only ludicrous, it is also extremely dangerous. These terrorists commit these atrocities and quote the text from the Holy Book of Islam, so to suggest that these attacks have nothing to do with Islam is akin to suggesting that the Inquisition had nothing to do with the Catholic Church. Indeed, if we are to deal with radical Islamism, then we must at least have the courage to name its source. And it is not just poverty and poor education. It is a literal and backward interpretation of the Quran. But not only do us in the West turn another cheek to extremism, we actively encourage it. We turn a blind eye to misogyny, homophobia, limb amputation and the funding of extremism in return for arms deals and oil. And this primarily takes place with the states of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. We must make a stand on moral grounds and say enough is enough, because if we don't, I fear that there will be a clash of civilisations at some point in this century. And this clash will not be fought in the deserts of the Middle East. They could well be fought on the streets, in the cities and the towns of Europe. We are the politicians of today, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a duty to hand on a stable and better society to our descendants. And that is not a society where the word of a woman is worth half of that of a man. It is not a society where homosexuals are persecuted, and it is not a society where unbelievers are second-class citizens. Christians and Muslims alike, if we do not take a stand, history will look upon us as the generation that surrendered our hard-fought liberal Western democracy in favour of something darker, something more intolerant and something wholly illiberal. Burying our heads in the sands, ladies and gentlemen, is no longer an option. We must act. We owe it to our children. Thank you.